Now this video is being recorded on the Sigma FP with a TT Artisan's manual focus only 23 millimeter, what is it, f1.4 lens. I believe the lens cost $120. I love these little TT Artisan lenses. I've got the Excelsius cage system on it. I remember back in 2019 when the Sigma FP was initially launched. And a lot of the people that I talked to in my circle all thought that it was a completely niche camera, that it wasn't going to be suitable for any of them, most of which were filmmakers and producers, and maybe a couple of them would have possibly entertained it as a scouting camera. But over time, the Sigma FP really started to intrigue me as I became more interested in that little form factor, especially for my purposes, which a lot of it is run and gun, just on the go. Throw a camera rig in the bag. We don't know if we're shooting today, what we're shooting, where we're shooting. And not to mention the fact that I do love my tiny little form factor cameras like this LUMIX GX850, which I've had since new, and I don't plan to ever get rid of it just because it's fun. It's my take everywhere, throw in the pocket. No matter where I go, I have a little camera. And I've been through a lot of other, smaller, compact camera bodies. I had a little fling with the XM5, which just wasn't for me, as much as I do love Fujifilm. And I still have and adore my Fujifilm X-T1, X-T2. I got rid of my X-T3. I just sold my X-H1, which I loved that camera. That's a fantastic camera. And I recently picked up a Canon R8, and I love the idea of having a lot of power and capabilities in such a small little package. That to me means that I'm never going to have an excuse to not have a camera with me. And a lot of what I shoot as a bodybuilding and addiction recovery coach is just spur of the moment, people's stories, journeys, kind of just documenting certain moments in people's lives. And that's not necessarily even for public use. It's actually become an integral part of what I do. But I think that so many people have been turned off by the Sigma FP because its capabilities are so great, but only for a select few. But that's the reason I wanted to shoot this here today. I'm shooting this in MOV, in the neutral picture profile. The image that you're watching is straight out of camera. I won't do any color grading. And I believe that at that point, it makes it worthwhile for a lot more people to consider. The L mount isn't necessarily something that everybody is excited about, but as a LUMIX fan and Micro Four Thirds fan as well, I do intend to, down the road, end up with what I'm considering now to be most likely the S1R. Mark I. And I do believe that that will serve a purpose for me in my photography. I shoot mostly just portraits, headshots, model portfolio updates, things like that. And for that purpose, I've been using the 30 megapixel Canon EOS R for years, well, since it was released. As well as I had a short stint with the A7 III. But even though both of those cameras gave fantastic images, I leaned more towards the Canon colors. And that's also why the majority of our studio cameras have been Canon, going from the C100 Mark II to multiple C200s, but that's changing. But if you've caught some of our recent videos, you know what that's changing too. I'm actually going backwards, back to where I once began. And I'm excited about that. But at the same time, the more I use and utilize the Sigma FP beneath its capabilities, straight out of the box, straight out of camera, I kind of enjoy it more. And I even find that it excites me even more. And as a single father of 5 under the age of 18, I want to be able to document more of my children. And I don't want to do that with my cell phone. It's easy, it's convenient, but I don't want to be a cell phone dad. I want to be more of a creative dad. And my kids have grown up watching me in the music industry since I was 18. All my kids have seen me on stage perform and in the studio and as an engineer and producer. And now with my YouTube channels, 2 of which are paying the bills, actually. And so this is a newer platform here for us, the Growing Pro. And we created this platform in hope to help other people circumvent a lot of our mistakes, a lot of our growing pains, so that you can be on your way to making money as a pro much faster. But who's to say that the Sigma FP can't be the right camera for content creation? Because straight out of the box, it's still an awesome little camera. Now, in many of our upcoming videos, we're actually going to start a series and take a deep dive down memory lane and start a series specifically dedicated to this. I began with Micro Four Thirds, and in 2025, I'm going back to it. And I'm excited about it because it's kind of ignited a new fire for me. As mundane and slightly tedious as content creation can become, I think one reason that so many content creators do end up with just horrible gear acquisition syndrome isn't because of the need to get the latest, greatest thing, but it's because content creation can create a sense of boredom. Doing the same thing over and over, editing the same type of videos over and over. That's another reason why I've created so many different channels and platforms and used so many different studios and backgrounds and backdrops and different cameras, different audio equipment, to keep it fresh, to keep myself on my toes, but to keep you, as the viewer, entertained and intrigued. But this, the GH5, intrigues me. But I do actually believe that the Sigma FP is an incredible camera that many more people should be and could be considering, especially for content creation. If you want that artistic, cinematic look without knowing much about color grading, without paying for expensive LUTs and going through all the LUTs to find the ones that you like, don't like, can't stand, the Sigma FP offers something different. And I can actually say that there's always something new that I'm finding or trying out. And every time, I seem to be pleased with everything that it's giving me. So friends, thanks for watching another video. My name is Adam. I go by Coach Hard Gains. As I said, I've been coaching bodybuilding, current recovering drug addiction for nearly 27 years now. You can find our main platform over here at Healing Together. That's a community that we've built for everyone to just find a place to feel like you belong. Because we're all suffering from something, mental, physical, spiritual, whatever it is. And it's a place for us to feel like we are together, healing, rather than just going backwards. And maybe that's another reason why I went back to the GH5. Because I feel like it's kind of healing in a way. It's allowing me to relearn maybe some of the steps that I've forgotten or forgot to take. So stay tuned, for there's much more to come on the GH5, on the Sigma FP, on lots of audio equipment. And although I do get a little tired of seeing so many different content creators trying to mimic Peter McKinnon for their intros or overuse the same piece, outro, I do think that there's something in content creation that's special for you, something that you can bring to content creation that is all your own. And I kind of feel like the Sigma FP is one of those cameras that allows us to put a little bit more of who we are into content creation.
Let's deal with the fact